Once again, welcome back everybody to Being a Fine Figure. G Topo here as always. Today we are going to be taking a look at another G.I. Joe Classified series. This time it is Jodie Shooter Craig, and she is number 90. And I believe she was one of G.I. Joe's first snipers. Her history, I mean, she's unknown to a lot of people, even to myself. I didn't remember her after going back and researching her a little bit for this video. And it turns out that you have the original 13 G.I. Joes, but she was also on a panel that shows when they first activated the original 13 G.I. Joe. She was also on the panel that shows everyone's name except for her face, or whoever shooter was at the time was covered by the hand pointing into the screen. But you can consider her the original 14. I mean, if you go down, if you want to go back. Unfortunately, her character didn't last long into the comic book series, as she was killed in one of the earliest missions. But I'm glad that they actually got this figure out, and it's a nice looking figure. It's another female we can add to the collection. So far on the box, it looks great. And, we get to learn a lot more about her. And if you, I know a couple of years ago, they also redid a story when, I forgot what company took over the publishing rights for G.I. Joe. And they kind of enhanced the original story and made it a little longer. So she ended up, they made her an actual character. But yet, even in that sequence, G.I. Joe didn't know who she was. And, when she got killed, obviously, because they kept that story as original as the, as a comic, they paid tribute to her, but none of the Joys ever knew who she was. They never seen her face. So she was like a sniper, but she was like really like hidden. Like they didn't know, nobody knew who she was. But she is here. We have her finally in an action figure form for the G.I. Joe Classified series. And without further ado, I'm going to take her out and we're going to find out and take a closer look at her shooter. All right, and she's out of the packaging, and I like the fact that they kept her even hidden as we opened it. Obviously, and also just to, before I forget, nice little cover art, nice picture there that they did on the background for this insert that she was in. That's actually one of the nicest pictures I've seen lately. That one in Rock and Roll is actually pretty good. So, and again, going back to the figure, this is the mask or the cover that she had on that story when they activated her to go help out the original Alpha mission, the original Stalker, Rock and Roll, and she got into Ace's plane, and this is what she had. This is the mask that he had. So he didn't even know who she was. She got in quietly into the plane, to the fighter. Didn't say a word. He dropped, and she took off. So it wasn't later until nobody was around that she took off the mask to expose her, who she was, and and we finally got to see her for the first time in one of the comics. But as always, they come with their weapons locker or weapons depot. Again, it's always backwards. The handles are there, and she again is number 90. So again, these G.I. Joe numbers releases, they're all over the place. So we will put that to the side. And then I'll put some cardboard in here, so hopefully her high-powered rifle is protected and it's not flimsy or loose like others. And she has not... she's minimal accessories compared to other Joes, so she really doesn't need much. But she does have plenty of different hairstyles, which is cool. And of course, all the other weapons. And let's see, I'm hoping that this time the weapon is not as bent and out of... let me fix this light here again. I'm hoping that the weapons, that her main rifle is not bent. Like lately, a lot of these figures have been bent. I have yet to really feel her, so I don't know if she's loose or not. And I think there is some bend to it, so I think that's something that they can't seem to get it, as you can see. Now, obviously, yeah, I mean, it's just the rubber. I wish they would use a little bit firmer rubber, a little plastic. I would prefer plastic. I mean, this is just, I guess at the rate that they're cranking them, they're just trying to get the cheapest material possible so they can mass produce them quicker. It looks good, but again, I'm gonna have to protect this somewhere because obviously, if it falls or something, it's gonna bend and then it's gonna have to shape it back into shape. Now, she does have a nice looking high-powered rifle. The only problem I have with it is that they went with this color. They should have put a little bit more detail on coloring, handles, stuff like that. This doesn't even, I don't know, it doesn't even look like a good weapon to have on a soldier. She's got all these different details and painting and whatnot, and then they give her a plain gray sniper rifle. So I'm trying to figure out what this piece is for. I just literally saw it. So we're gonna have to figure it out. Let me look at the image here. Pardon me a second while I look at the weapon itself. I don't know, maybe it's to hold it in her back, or I mean, it does have the peg, so yeah, I guess it's just to hold the rifle in her bag, so that's what that's for. Yeah, okay, so that's the peg for the bag to hold her weapon in. Oh, and it does come with a removable magazine, which again, I prefer for these magazines to just be on there. Not a huge fan of them being loose, because I always say it's just another piece to lose. But again, the gist of it, it's a pretty nice looking rifle, but they should have added some little color or something to make it pop out. It's just plain. And again, everything that they gave her is all plain. She's got the sidearm, small side piece, a little detail on the handle, little color would have been nice. But it does have holes to plug the effects. I didn't realize if that one does. Yeah, it does too. So, and then she's got that. Then she has a very plain knife, this is very odd to me, because even though most of the weapons on Joe's are one color, they usually do a pretty good job with the knives as far as putting some silver on it, making it look like a real knife. This one, it just looks like a plastic piece of steak. I mean, it doesn't look, it's all plain. I mean, I'm very, very kind of disappointed in the choice of coloring for her weapons. And then she does come with this ponytail type hair, little bangs to the side, and she does have some off coloring brown tint on her hair, or highlights. And then she comes with this braided straight hair with the braids on the top, and then the braids are the same color as this braid here. So the top, same thing, match. And again, she does come with this mask that it is removable, the whole headpiece, and it's pretty much mirrors this but without the mask. Actually, let's take the mask off. We'll put something else on her hair. Yeah, it's basically, if you go back and research some of that storyline when she's gets activated in the middle of the night by General Flag. She has this on, she gets on it, and then it wasn't until she's by herself that she takes it off and we get to see her face. But none of the Joes ever knew. They knew who Jodie Craig was, but they didn't know who Shooter was, who the codename Shooter was. And then even till his death, nobody knew who she was. But that's a nice detail on the mask. I dig the mask. It's got some nice. I mean, I don't know how well she can see it at night, or she's hiding to snipe with it. But yeah, we'll get this here. I think this one here looks the best. Gives her a nice simple look. Doesn't have to be braided. Now the face sculpt on it, it's really nicely done. She's got that stern look. Nice detail in her eyes, her nose, everything else is nice. And then you got some nice vest there, all one piece, but it's got all the details and the colors all separated, which is great. You know, gives her some color on her vest. And then she's got a little timer there, reader there. She's got the little holster there for her knife or her shifts. For detail, she's got the belt here. Oh, this harness moves around. She's got some holes in the back. I don't know what they could be for, because it doesn't really bring anything for them. But, you know, the joints are actually really good. So I'm happy, because lately I've been getting a lot of Joes that are not, they're just too sneaky. So, oh, she's got the nice tattoo there. A nice little snake there with an arrow going through it. That's actually pretty cool. And this one doesn't have one, but that's a nice touch to it. A lot of these Joes have been coming with tattoos, which is good, man. Just get them as close as accurate as you can. And the details on the legs there, the nice rivets there. A little holster for her gun. She's got some texture in the back of her actual pants and her uniform underneath. It's got a nice zipper detail there. Painting, it's a little off at the bottom, but it's not bad. This side's actually pretty good. And she's got her shoes there. I'm surprised I didn't go with the boots. But I guess she might be more comfortable with the shoes, I guess. And again, they did really good job as far as the figure and the details and the coloring. Hands, they're actually not bad for the figure. The arms, even though they're a little skinny, but they have details on the arms, so it just isn't bad. It's a difference between some of these and other figures where they, the female, when it comes to the legs and the arms, they're just terrible. This one at least got some little detail there. I'm not a fan of this puff look on her shoulders, but everything else is actually nice. I'm digging this. Let's actually try it on, but I'll probably end up I actually like that other better. I like this look better. It's actually a nicer look. But yeah, there she is. And of course, she's got all her weapons, plain weapons, I might add. I mean, they could even give her a better holster. That's just very lazy. I mean, the coloring on it holds up pretty well. Of course, you will have her. There we go. And then I guess her weapon would go in like that. And I might have to go with the other, because the bun would kind of messes with it. So her head will be kind of turned over. So, but I probably won't be using that piece anyway. So I'll display her with her huge rifle in hand. It's a pretty big rifle, man. Man, that's a huge. I mean, I get the whole sniper thing, but man, that's pretty long. But yeah, I mean, this is again, I was very surprised that they gave us this character, considering it's one of, like, I guess one of the first, you can say, pretty much, that died. One of the first G.I. Joes that were killed in action. I think she was killed by a Cobra Trooper while she was trying to save someone else, or some, I think it was some hostages or villagers or something, if I don't remember correctly. But I mean, you can see the bend on the weapon. That's another thing. Man, they should give us better quality. But man, that it also makes it a little heavy for her. But yeah, that's her in a nutshell. and I'm glad we got her. Actually, you know, it's another good female character. Let's get this out of the way and put her up next to some of the other female Joes. Here she is next to other female members of the G.I. Joe team, Lady J and Cover Girl. And yeah, she pairs up pretty well with them. Again, nice looking. Now, it took me a while to get this one up because the joints on this one they're very, very loose. So they kind of spread out and open up. But, you know, other than that, all the other ones. And, of course, the much hated face sculpt on the Cover Girl. But, yeah, she's very good. She looks very nice. And here she is next to some of the original members of the original 13. Rock and Roll, Stalker, Snake Eyes, and Grunt. So yeah, she's gonna look pretty good. I can't wait for them to come up with. I can't wait to get that retro Scarlet. Hawk is on the way. I can't wait to get, you know, the other ones. Flash, Short Fuse, Breaker. I'm trying to track that one down. I know there is a Breaker out there. I just haven't had a good deal on it. Sap. So I mean, she used that unknown number 14 that nobody heard of, but you know, she's gonna look great in the collection. I like the figure. I like what they've done with the details of it. So that's gonna be it for right now, guys. As always, thank you for supporting the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And as always, continue to support each other, continue to be a fine figure, and I will see you later.